Categorical data places someone or something into several groups or categories. Favorite colors, job titles, names of students, whatever you could use to put people or things into groups. Quantitative data measures numerical data. So these are things you can count. Numbers, how old you are, how tall you are, how many pets you have, that kind of thing. So categories, putting people or things together. Quantitative data, numbers. So we have different types of graphs. Most of these graphs you have used before. Circle graphs show how data is divided into parts. The entire circle, this is important, the entire circle contains 100% of the data. Bar graphs organize data into, I think, categories. And dot plots display data sets that are countable. So, ratios. Whenever you see the word ratio, I want you to think of fraction. So right now, write the word fraction by ratio. We can write ratios in lots of ways. We can write ratios with words or the colon. Most of the time, though, ratios are most useful to us as a fraction. So, what is the ratio? What is the fraction of people that prefer comedy to romance? So, I want you to write it in words. Comedy to romance. Now, you're going to put the numbers with it. What's the number for comedy? So, you could use 20%. It really makes more sense to use 4. And what's the number for romance? 6. Now 4 to 6 is a correct answer, but we know that we can simplify to 2/3. So then it says part to whole ratio. What ratio, fraction, remember, of people who like action movies to all of the people surveyed? So your fraction is action movies to all of the people, everyone. So how many people like action movies? 5. And how many people are there altogether? Well, I have 5 action, 4 comedy, 4 sci-fi, 1 drama, and 6 romance. How many is that altogether? 20. And I know I can simplify by 5 and make it 1/4. Not too tough, right? You could also write the ratio as a percent, which is really nice because if action is 25%, everybody is 100%. All right, it says 3 boys and 3 girls ran for 7th grade class president. The boys are Andrew, Derek, and Miguel. The girls are Becky, Dora, and Trisha. The results of the election are shown in the bar graph. What is the percent of total votes for Derek? So find Derek. Now, we need the percent of the total votes. So Derek is going to go on top, and the total is going to go on bottom. So how many votes does Derek have? 135. That's our top number. Now, what is our total? I don't know. We're going to have to add again. So whenever I get a bar graph, I always write the numbers on top. It just makes my life easier. So 75, 105, 135, 150, 90, is that 120? 120? Now you're going to have to add all of those up. So when I added, I have 675. If that is not right, use your number. But I think that's right. And you can simplify by 5. And believe it or not, you can actually simplify again by 3. Oh my goodness, and by 9. Now, 1/5 is a good part. We need to turn that into a percent. So you are going to have to set up your percent proportion. 1/5 equals x over 100. And you're going to solve. Make sure that you give it to me in a percent because that's what it asks for. So you're going to do the same thing for number 2, or for the second part. What is the percent of total votes for Dora? So this time it's Dora over the total. Bonus for us, we already know the total. And Dora. Now, if you simplify, you can simplify by 15. You can simplify by 5. You can leave it the way it is and just do it like that. That's fine too. But make sure you give me an answer as a percent. Now, once you have both of these finished, the question says, who received a larger percentage? You will know for sure, but make sure you answer this in a sentence. So-and-so, Derek or Dora, received the largest percentage. All right, example 2 says 60 people were surveyed about their favorite type of juice. The circle graph shows the results. Use the graph to answer each question. How many more people chose orange juice than grape juice? So how many more? That's subtraction, right? So I have orange juice minus grape juice. Orange minus grape. 20%. Now you're going to use your knowledge of percents and proportions to find out how many people 20% is. Now, if you're not reading the words, you're missing really important information.